I'm on Yavapai, Apache. You'll recognize as Quartzsite, Arizona. And this really makes sense why this area is so conservative. It's also called High Jolly, which is not even the gentleman's name. The famous camel herd, which the name of the High Jolly is linked constituents, an interesting sidelight of Arizona history. Jefferson Davis, afterward President of the Southern Confederacy as Secretary of War, approved a plan to experiment with camels for freighting and communication in the arid Southwest. Remember, this is a civil war. This is also when, quote-unquote, the Indian Wars happened, and when a lot of land was taken, when the Long Walk Home happened, Trail of Tears, all these different areas where land was being taken, the San Carlos Apache, everybody. A lot of mass murders, genocide, forced assimilation, boarding schools were going on. So they keep that in mind. So when they started bringing the camels over, we'll get into that part. Major Henry C. Wayne of the U.S. Army and Lieutenant D.D. Porter, later Distinguished Admiral in the Civil War, visited the Levant with the store ship of, quote, supply, unquote, and procured 33 camels which were landed at Indianola, Texas, February 10th, 1856. 41 were added on a second voyage. So they came from overseas. These camels came from overseas. 41 were added on a second voyage. With the first camels came, as caretaker, Haji Ali, whose Arabic name was promptly changed to High Jolly by the soldiers, and by this name he became universally known. His Greek name unknown, Philip Tedro, on the Beale expedition in 1857 to open a wagon road across Arizona from Fort Defiance. Look up Fort Defiance and Window Rock, Arizona. From Fort Defiance to California. Fort Defiance is also where oh god, I can't think of the jackass's name. Kit Carson started with a long walk down to Fort Sumner and Bosque Redondo, another failed government experiment. The camels under High Jolly's charge proved their worth. Nevertheless, the War Department abandoned the experiment and the camels were left to the Arizona desert to shift for themselves, chiefly roaming this particular section. They survived for many years, creating an interest and excitement. Officially, the camel experiment was a failure, but both Lieutenant Beale and Major Wayne were enthusiastic in praise of the animals. A fair trial might have resulted in a complete success. And they're not lying, it really would have been a success. It really was a success because our soldiers, our infantry and cavalry and everybody else that came over eastward west to go procure land when they started raiding the Apache over in, like I said, Fort Defiance with the Diné. They also, where was that? Canyon de Chelly. Those horses were no good. Our soldiers couldn't handle that rough terrain. Canyon de Chelly is gorgeous. Navajo Nation, the Diné Nation is gorgeous. That whole area out there, why us white folks couldn't do it. But the camels that came over from Afghanistan did a really good job. And because they're pack animals, like carrying packs and work animals, they did great. But the Civil War was over. They didn't need them anymore, so they left them here in Quartzsite. Some went to zoos, but this is what happened. A lot of history packed in that short little period of time during the Civil War, which is very interesting. So anyways, it's hot, it's nice, and it's only March. This is Scott with EffectiveDog.com. Look up The Long Walk. Look up La Jolla. Or High Jolly. La Jolla is San Diego. And Quartzsite. And look at the history of what this is. Look up Fort Defiance. Look up The Long Walk. Look up Bosque Redondo. Fort Defiance. You're going to see a lot of history. Bear River Massacre. Sand Creek Massacre. A lot of these places are all massacres because of our government. Forced assimilation, all that good stuff. Have a great day.